Matt. Next, the DVLA holds details of 43 million drivers in Britain, taxes them and issues licences. An organisation of that size would surely make the odd mistake. Amazingly, this one doesn't.
Normally, this record would be correct. You must have reached your driving test again.
Yes, that was a DVLA official talking to a watchdog dealer last year. She'd asked them to update her licence when she got married and changed her name. When they sent the licence back, they'd removed her entitlement to drive a motorcycle, even though she passed her test 11 years ago. Complaints continue to come in. Tonight, the DVLA has agreed to answer them. Before that, Don Littlewood on the disastrous consequences when the DVLA do indeed make a mistake.
In April 2009, Watchdog revealed how the DVLA were wrongly amending hundreds of licences that had been sent off for updating. One of these belonged to John Jones. When he got it back, he found he was no longer licensed to ride his motorbike. As he'd had it for 30 years, this was obviously a mistake, but not according to the DVLA, who insisted he retake his test.
I've had to book time off work to do these tests. The cost and the stress levels, I mean, I haven't been very nice to live with for the last month or so. It's affected my life big time.
Have things improved since then? Well, not according to what you've been telling us, because viewers continue to bombard Watchdog with complaints about this supposedly infallible organisation, and some of them will take your breath away. With two small kids, Cole Parsons relies on his car. He only needs one though. So he was shocked when last year the DVLA sent him logbooks for two other vehicles. They didn't belong to him, but they'd somehow been registered to his address.
Well, I can't believe it, honest. I thought, I've not seen this vehicle before, I've not bought this vehicle and sold it to this person.
The cars were registered to two men with Italian names. Cole called the DVLA, who told him to return the logbooks with a letter explaining the cars weren't his and they would amend their records. But soon afterwards, Cole started receiving fines and then letters from bailiffs.
What I got through what we were fined from Londonborough Council with a picture of his vehicle on, demanding that pay this congestion charge fee. I thought DVLA sorted it out.
Cole contacted the bailiffs to tell them the cars did belong to him. They said they'd try and verify his story, but he's continued to receive demands for payment. And only last weekend, the bailiffs posted a letter through his door telling him they'd called.
If bailiffs come, I don't know what I can do to stop them taking like my family's stuff, but it's just not when it's not my fault, to be honest.
Motoring organisations are used to hearing stories like this. A mistake by a big bureaucracy that can have huge consequences for the individual. But what might seem like a fairly small mistake on the DVLA's part can have a catastrophic effect on people's lives, can't it?
Certainly can. A small parking ticket can escalate to something, thousands of pounds dearer than that, simply because you may have missed some paperwork. So, it can start small and end up very large.
Tell Melanie Hall, the Goda, about him. She received a £3,000 Volkswagen Golf as part of her redundancy package 3 years ago.
I loved it. It was my pride in doing it. It's the only thing I owned outright.
When she moved house in 2008, she notified the DVLA of her change of address in North London. But then she realised she'd made a mistake, telling them she lived at Coolcott Road instead of neighbouring Coolcott Court. Right away, she called them to rectify this.
Then I didn't do any more paperwork. She would look after it for me, and I'd not have to think about it again.
But that reassurance turned out to be false. A year later, Melanie's car disappeared. She panicked, called the police immediately, and reported it stolen. But Melanie's car hadn't been driven away by thieves. It had been towed away by bailiffs. Now, why was that? Well, some months earlier, Melanie had been issued a parking fine by Harrow Council. She knew nothing about it, because they'd sent it to Coolcott Road. The DVLA hadn't updated their records as they said they would. So they had supplied the council with the wrong address. And every time the council sent out reminders to Melanie, her fine was going up from £60 to £967. With the fine to go to the address, how out of control can they get?
Well, a £60 parking ticket can become thousands and thousands of pounds, because what happens is that the fine will escalate if it's unpaid. It would probably double. They'll then add 50% if it isn't paid by another date. And then once the bailiff's commissioned, of course, the bailiff charges go on top, and they can be enormous.
Melanie applied for the county court and they revoked the increased charges and said that she was only liable for the original £60 parking fine, but it was all too late. When she called Harrow Council to get her car back, they told her they'd sold it at auction.
I was absolutely gobsmacked. I literally almost dropped the phone. I'm very upset. I couldn't believe the £60 fine could end up to £967 in the first place, and then I couldn't believe that my car was sold without me even being told.
Melanie has since received an apologetic letter from the DVLA, who admitted they failed her. They added that the car concerned had been made aware of the error and reminded to exercise greater care in the future. But they've refused to compensate her, saying that when they pass on drivers' details to a third party, like Harrow Council, it's up to that third party to verify that those records are accurate.
The DVLA say it's not their fault, it's Harrow Council's fault. Where's it? What's the solution to that?
But it's unbelievable that there's butt passing when there's been such a severe outcome that someone's lost their car. The authorities really need to get their act together on this one to find out who is responsible.
A mistake most of us would agree, and as far as Melanie's concerned, downright unfair.
Well, I'm really annoyed because I lost everything that I had. It was my pride and joy, and it was taken away from me. One minute I had it, and the next minute it was gone through no fault of my own. And it's a lot of money to lose. Okay, with me now is the Chief Executive of the DVLA.